All right, Mr. Aston, this is we're excited to have you at our school, and you've been here for a little over a month. But we want to get the opportunity to get to know you and give the community an opportunity to get to know you. So we've got a series of questions for you.
Okay.
And here you go. First one. Give us 3 words that you think best describe you.
Okay, do I need to explain each one of those words?
We'll let you do whatever you want to do with that.
Well, first word I think is service. That's something that I've always really glommed onto in my life is serving others, and it's evident in the careers that I've chosen. I'm in public education, and that really is a service. And then I'm also in the military. I'm in the Army Reserve, so I dedicate service there. I dedicate service with the church that I'm affiliated with, and so I think service is one word. Second would be humor. I like to have fun. I like to be funny. Maybe it's not funny to everybody that talks to maybe they don't get the humor or the jokes, but I try to have fun, and I try to incorporate humor into whatever I'm doing. And then the third one I think the most important is kind. I live every day to try to be kind, and everyone knows that I'm a kind person, and that they can come to me and I'm approachable, and that they will have that kindness reciprocated.
Awesome. And I know the students still talk about their first time of meeting you at the opening rally. You threw out some dad jokes.
I did.
So
yes.
We can definitely
the
see
humor.
that.
Yeah, maybe it may be a little dry or cheesy humor, but yeah.
Well, I think and the kindness and the service we've already seen here in the first month. So that's been awesome. What would you say are your greatest strengths?
I think one of my greatest strengths is I like to listen. And a lot of times people just need to be heard, and I like to listen. It's hard sometimes to not chime in and give your opinion or how you would fix things right away. But I think that I've worked really hard to be able to do that, to listen first. Seek first to understand, then to be understood, as Stephen Covey says. So I think that's really one of my greatest strengths is listening and understanding.
That's great. Briefly share with us your educational background.
I come from a little bit different educational background than most in this area. I did my undergraduate education at Brigham Young University in Utah, and got my bachelor's degree in history. And I also was in ROTC when I was at BYU, and I commissioned into the Army Reserve. So I've had multiple educational opportunities in the United States Army. I'm a lot of different schools, but then I got a master's degree from University of Phoenix in educational curriculum and instruction, and then I got another master's degree from Western Governors University in educational leadership, and yeah, that's about it.
Where did you most recently work? You're like I said earlier, you are new to our school. So where did you most recently work, and what made you want to come to Templeton High?
Well, I most recently worked at Minico High School in Rupert, Idaho. It's in the southern part of Idaho, and it's similar school to Templeton High from the standpoint population-wise. It had about 1,100 students, so Templeton's a little bit smaller. So that's where I worked. I was the principal there for a year. Before that, I was the vice principal, one of the vice principals, for 3 years previous to that, and then I taught 2 years at Minico High School. So I was at Minico High School for 6 years. And what made me want to come to Templeton High School is I've always loved the area. I have family connections here. My wife's family this is the area that they've decided to end up, and I've always really loved the area. So that's what appealed to me, and when this came available, I jumped on the opportunity to apply. And it was a really great experience interviewing here and getting to know the community, and I think it's been a good move.
Awesome. Now you said that the schools are somewhat similar in size, 800 and 1,100. How is the school different from where you just left?
Well, it's one is the color of the school. The colors at Minico are red, and the rival is green. So this has been a little bit of a transition, getting moving in wearing green and becoming an Eagle. Some of the differences, though, was kind of the focus. The school I came from was very focused on career technical education. Not that we aren't here, we do have programs and we do have that focus, but it was a more all-encompassing focus at my previous school. Whereas here, it's very much college and career readiness. So that's one of the biggest differences.
Okay. What do you think the community should expect out of a Templeton High School graduate?
Well, I would hope that a Templeton High School graduate is one that is respectful, a good contributor to the community, one that knows what it's like to work hard, one that is also somebody that recognizes the importance of creating good relationships and having positive relationships with other people. So mostly, I want a hard worker, respectful, and good at making relationships, and kind.
Right. Okay. What are you? I'm going to throw a little curveball at you here.
Okay.
What is something in your first month that you have really appreciated about this school? Could have been an event, could have been a moment, a good memory you had. So far, something that you've really looked at as a highlight of the year so far for you?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, the highlight for me is just how awesome the students are here at this school. I have just been overly impressed with how nice the kids are. It's been fantastic. I've had the opportunity weekly. I bring in a few students to get to know them, and it's just been such a positive thing to see how open they are to just talk with me, and how nice they've been to me. And you see that walking throughout campus and seeing in the interactions with the kids. I've just been very, very pleased with how great the kids are.
Awesome. Okay, so one last question for you. Mm-hmm. What are you most looking forward to this year? We're just a month in, so we got another 9 months of school left. Is there a particular event or something that you are really just looking forward to being a part of this year?
Well, I just am looking forward to being part of the school culture. That's probably my biggest thing on my radar. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to. I love being part of the school. I love being part of the culture. I love getting to know the students, and so that's the thing I'm looking forward to. Integrating myself into the school culture, learning about it, and getting to know the people. Not just the kids at the school, but the people throughout the community. I'm really excited to do that, because where I came from, I'd grown up there, and so everybody knew me by default. Now I've really got to get to know people and make myself a space in the community.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Aston is easy to get in contact with and connection with. You'll see him at the games, you'll see him at the activities, so feel free to stop by and say hi to Mr. Aston. Mr. Aston, we thank you for your time. We really appreciate you as principal. You're doing a great job already. The culture is great here, and the idea of wanting people to be kind and service, those are great things to continue to impress by example with our kids. So we appreciate you and appreciate you taking time out for us today.
Thank you.